Hey guys, welcome back to ePower's RC build series video assembly of the new all Yak 5510E from Flex Innovations. So after you unbox the video, hopefully you watched that video already, you'll need a few items to get started. First of all, you kind of want to clear off your build table. This stuff here you won't need exactly right now. You'll need it later though, so make sure you don't take it too far. So the first thing they tell you to do in the book is assemble the landing gear. So obviously you're going to need the airplane. My suggestion would be to remove the canopy, lay it to the side. That way you have a flat surface here. You can actually turn this over and set it kind of off your table a little bit. And that way it won't be rolling all around. And open up your manual to page 5. Page 5 has the instruction for that. So again, you're going to need your landing gear. You're going to need your wheels. You have a sprinter in that bag, so let's set it aside for now. Of course, they suggest your wheel pants. Again, as I mentioned in my first video, if I can get by without putting the wheel pants on, I plan to. Just because I do fly off some rougher surfaces. And I don't think the wheel pants are going to be all that great, but so in this bag with your thing, you have some linkages, prop adapter, and the only thing I wish you would do, Flex Innovations, listen to me, I don't think it'd be that hard. Put labels on your bags. You could say right here in the instruction, you could say grab bag A or grab bag 1, and then you would know right off that's the bag you need. A couple of helicopter companies I know do this. So I do know what these are. These are your thumb screws for your wing. Hopefully you saw that. But honestly, it's not that complicated to figure out. I mean, this bag here is your servo arms for your tail. And then the bag that you want, they tell you got two number 2s, two actually it looks like you got 2, 4, 6 maybe number 2s, but honestly this bag here only has 4 screws in it, and for this task they tell you you're going to need 4, 6, 8 screws to get this whole thing done. But to do the main part, it looks like it would be machine screws. They tell you using the number 2 Phillips head screwdriver and 2 M3 by 15. Well, I'm going to guess that this bag here for the M2 by 15, these right here, these are the longest, hopefully you can see that, these are the longest screws in the whole bag. And out of all the bags, these are the longest screws, so I would just test fit this and see. Yeah, it's got to be these. It has to be for this part, for the landing gear itself. And one thing I forgot to get, which I don't know if they tell you. They don't tell you in here. Doesn't look like. They don't say anything about Loctite. But after you've put it together as many airplanes as I have, you kind of learn this stuff. So get your trusty blue red Loctite. I wouldn't use red. I have red. I don't use it a whole lot. Use your blue. Just put a little dab of blue Loctite on these bolts. Also make sure you put the landing gear on the proper way. You want the landing gear to be facing forward. You're upside down right now, so you got to pay attention to which way that would be. So you need to turn the plane over and kind of look at it. Make sure that that's how you want it to be. You want the wheels forward. You don't want them like this. If you put it on like this, it's probably going to tip over on you on landings, even maybe on taxis. So definitely make sure you put it on the proper way. So just get that in place. Get your Loctite. Put a dab of glue. You don't dab of Loctite. It doesn't have to be a lot. And then just line up the hole. Get that one snug. Grab your other bolt. A little dab of Loctite on her. Should be lined up with it already. Just put it on there snug. It is the landing gear, so you do want to kind of make sure it's tight. Okay, so the gear is on. That wasn't hard, was it, guys? No. Boy, that landing gear looks good. It's been a while since I had my Mamba. I know the Mamba had spring gear on it. It's been a while with a plane with some real good heavy duty landing gear. So next is the wheels. It looks like I can put these on without wheel pants. And if I can, that's going to be terrific because the way it's made, it's got like a nut here for the wheel itself with a little keeper on it. And then this part just unscrews. Take this, stick it through there, and stick that on there like that. And I can't tell if these, now if these are nylon nuts, you don't want to use Loctite. But if they're not nylon, which these look like they're not nylon bolts. So you can actually stick a little bit of Loctite on these two. So I'm just going to stick a little bit of Loctite on it. They show in the manual you need a 7mm wrench for this, or an adjustable wrench. So I've got a wrench here. I don't know what sizes it has. I'm betting it's too big. That's what it looks like. Yep, too big. So I do have an adjustable wrench laying here on the table, so I guess we'll use it. I did mean to grab a 7mm from my workbench down in the garage, and I just totally forgot. It can be done with this. It's just a little awkward. Well, get yourself a 7mm wrench. It'll be a whole lot easier on yourself. Well, this snug. I'll go back later before I fly her. Actually, what didn't I do over here, guys? Can you tell me? I didn't put no Loctite. Loctite is your friend. Mine's not coming that good. That's why it looks like I'm putting a ton more than I am on here. Trust me, I'm not. I'm not putting that much on there. Just enough to cover the threads. But okay, that looks good. Wheels are a little tight. As you break them in, they'll roll, but it looks like we definitely got by without using these. If you want to use these, you can. They look like they just pop up into here. You put a screw in them, and you're done. But again, I know they look better. Everything looks better with them. I know. I totally understand. I know there'll be a ton of people tell me, "Hey, the plane needs wheel pants." Okay, I know. It does look better with them, but I'm not going to use them. So, oh, I know one thing I didn't see in the box, and that was the little plate that goes over here. It's supposed to be a little bitty piece that covers over the screws. I guess they have holes in the bottom here for like ventilation or something. I'm not really sure. I've actually never seen that before. So right now we have 2 screws left out of this bag. We'll probably use them later for something else. Yeah, the next step is supposed to be to install that little white piece. This is just a quick guide for the speed controller, and it looks like it's got a GTW in it. But I am going to pause the video and I'm going to look for that piece because I did not see it in the unboxing. But that's what she looks like, guys, with wheels on her. Definitely looks tall. I have plenty of ground clearance, of course, with the tail wheels, so it'll probably be something like that. We can actually look at that, because here's the fin. So the fin goes on like this. And I think that's the next step, is actually to glue that on. So there's pretty much what it should look like, guys. Hopefully you can see that. Not a tiny plane, but not a huge plane. But this is a 6-foot table, I believe, 5 or 6, and it's taking up much of it. So. Okay, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that break. Had to find that piece. I got that piece installed on the bottom here. Just taped it on. You'll see that in the video. I went ahead and glued my rudder on. There's not really a whole lot about it. I used my trusty foam tap glue. I just glued up both sides. I glued the plane and the fin part that goes on there. I stuck it on there. I pulled it off like you're supposed to with foam tap for a few seconds. Put it back down. Now I'm just kind of working the rudder back and forth, make sure it doesn't glue the rudder in one place. That would be terrible. It's got a 3mm by, I think it's 8mm screw that goes in here. It was actually left over from the bag of landing gear parts. I stuck it in. You tighten it down tight, and then the rudder gets tight. You back it off just like a quarter of a turn, and now the rudder is moved real nice and free again. Like I said, it's a little tight because of the glue, but that's okay. So next step, they tell you to put the stabilizer on. Take your carbon fiber rod, stick it in here. Honestly, guys, goodness, if you've ever put anything together, none of this stuff's complicated. This hole is a little tight though. Ooh, when I say a little tight, Jesus. Okay, well, this should be super simple to do, but it looks like we've got a really tight hole. Well, it went right in the other side, so if it's tight on one side, guys, go ahead and switch it out and try the other side. So you gotta find my half elevators. Here they are. You can't really go wrong here. You've got a key here. Screw goes inside of here. Once you get it on, you don't forget to plug your light up. And whoa, my light just decided to come straight out. So, okay, guys, there's where the light is. just a little strip, and I don't know if they forgot to glue mine in. That'd be my luck. They forgot to glue it in place. I guess it's no big deal. Once it's on the plane, it really, I guess it can't really go nowhere, but, well, we got the good look at what it is, so yeah, okay. So that guy just slides right on in. You get it up here close. You connect these two little wires. They are tiny. Make sure you plug red to red, black to black as you're doing anything that is tiny. They're like the little, can't even think what they're called. Okay. So connecting the wires might be the hardest part here, guys. They are tiny, as I said. I'm sorry I took it away from you guys, but I gotta see what I'm doing here. Just, you want to make sure you get these lined up, plugged in. I would hate to get the whole thing put together. Man, that is a tight connection. So, okay, so there's a decent amount of space here. Hope you can see this, guys. Sorry. There's a gap right here where this wire's coming out. You just kind of want to push the wire inside of that little gap just so it can't hit anything, I guess. I want to take my little flathead and we'll just push it right up in that little cavity. And I'm going to just line this up, push it all the way on. So there. Got one side done. Now the important part, guys, when you're doing the second half, is it has a tab on it to connect the two halves. You got this little tab right here. Hope you can see that, guys. This little tab, you got to make sure it's lined up with the other little tab. So I'm going to slide this on again. Slide it in the, slide the hole right in, slide it up to it enough where you can connect the wires again, red to red, black to black. I've pretty much got it where I can't see it what I'm doing, guys. I have to come back down here where I can see. My eyes aren't the best when it comes to tiny little wires like this. Okay, so there's a little tab keeper like on the bottom. You'll never see it in my video, but anyway, the same thing. You got a little channel where that can be pushed into. So as you're pushing it up, just make sure it goes in the channel. Again, make sure these two line up. Oh, I popped that one out. I wonder what that pop was. You know, you just kind of make sure they match up. Is all you want to do. It's kind of hard to see in between the middle, but kind of can feel it. I could feel it going in. So once you feel it going in, just push it in, and then when you move one side, the other side should move also. If it doesn't, see, if I move this side, the other side moves, vice versa. If it doesn't, you know you didn't get it. But once that's popped in, push it in. Oh my God, guys, look at that color. I love it. So pretty. So pretty. So the screws are on the bottom. See right there? I hope you can see that. I'm going to lay her down. Again, I'm going to flex my rudder some. Make sure that glue's not drying exactly on it. Take your little screws. Same one that you did on the bottom of the rudder, the fin to hold it. They're 3x10, or what they are. I'm sorry, I said 3x8 a minute ago. They're 3x10. They suggest a number 2 Phillips head screwdriver. I just use my trusty Husky set that I've had for, honestly, ever since I got back into the hobby. Around 2005, 2006, I've used these tools, but they come in handy. So you gotta feel the screw go in, and then it drops down, and you just tighten that sucker down I mean, you ain't got a gorilla tighten it down, but this is your elevator. So you don't want your stab or your elevator to fly off and fly. That would be very, very bad. I'm going to try to get it on camera here. Maybe if I bring you closer to me, you can see what I'm doing. But yeah, you got this little hole right here. I'm just sticking the screw in here. Can you see the screw? I hope so. And I'm just screwing it down. I'm putting my hand on the back side of the plane just to kind of support it a little bit. I don't want to push it down against the fin, especially since it's still kind of drying. And there we go. So the stab is installed. Isn't she pretty? Very pretty girl. Yes, yes. Very pretty, guys. So I think the next step after that is you're supposed to glue on the side force generators. And then after you do that, you pretty much just you put the side force generators on here. You glue these on. I don't think there's a left or a right. I believe they're the same. We look at them. They look identical. But I would test fit both of them. Just go ahead and grab them, stick them on the plane, stick them on the wing. See, there's that one. Again, I honestly don't know which wing I had when. I don't know if that's the wing I showed you earlier or if it's the other one, but here you got two. Just test fit your stuff, guys. That one looks good too. Again, you got a good gap on it. This plane does have the sharp teeth, just like the Lumber 10 did. It's supposed to help fly slower. So guys, I don't know if you really need to see me do this. I guess I can do one for you and then cut and come back to the next step, which the next step after gluing these on will be pretty much installing the wings and then radio setup. So not sure how much we would do that. I mean, it's not a very hard plane to put together. It takes me longer videoing this to do it than it does to normally do it, but brand new plane. I enjoy doing these. I don't mind it, so I thought I would do it. So what I'm going to do with my foam tack, now this meets, you got this whole thing, this little raised part touches the inside of the plane, and then like the ridge part all the way around touches the plane. But besides that, there's really not a whole lot right here that touches it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put glue right around the edge here and on the flat spot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run a bead of glue down and around the edge. And then I'm going to run it all on the flat part. And then I guess I'll go ahead and put some inside the wing tube. Just put it inside here a little bit. And then I normally mate these right away. Kind of mate them. So that's how it goes on. It goes on like that. Just mated. But then I'll pull it right back apart. You see how it spider webs? I hope you can see that. Anybody that's been in the hobby long should know how foam tack works. You just wait a few seconds. I mean, you can wait all the way from 5 seconds all the way up to like 20 seconds. And you just kind of push it back together. And make sure it's pressed good. Make sure it's nice and level. And sometimes you might get excess on the outside. That's fine. Honestly, I might go back and run a bead on the outside because I didn't have any really come out. I had one little speck come out. But just so you know, it's on there really good. You can go back and do that. Heck with it. That to kind of make it, but otherwise normally you can just stick it together and leave it, and then it'll be fine. Recommend to leave it for at least 20 minutes minimum. Of course, like any glue, the longer you do it, the better it will. So anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back for part 3, probably installing the wings and maybe a little bit of radio setup. So thanks for watching. Happy flying.